Shrimad Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 12. Arjun said, "In this way, there are devotees who are always immersed in you and worship you, and there are those who think of the unmanifest and the indestructible. Who among these is the best yogi?" The Lord said, "Those who worship me with minds fixed on me, always united in me with supreme devotion. In my view, they are the best yogis. But those who worship the indestructible, indescribable, unmanifest, omnipresent, unthinkable, original, immovable and constant, controlling properly the senses and looking upon everything equally, acting for the welfare of all beings, they only attain me. Those who wish to immerse their minds in the unmanifest find it more difficult, because those who possess bodies attain the goal of the unmanifest with great perseverance. O Parth, those who offer all action to me are devoted to me, and with single-minded yoga meditate on me and worship me with minds rendered unto me. I become swiftly their rescuer from this mortal world that is like an ocean. Establish your mind in me alone. Fix your intellect on me. After that, there is no doubt that you will live with me alone. O Dhananjay, if you cannot steady your mind and fix it on me, then practice yoga and wish to attain me. If you don't succeed in the practice, then do only my deeds. Even if you do acts for my pleasure, you attain liberation. If, however, you are unable to perform these deeds also, then control your mind, give up attachment to the fruits of all action, and seek refuge in the yoga that is mine. Knowledge is superior to practice. Meditation is superior to knowledge. Giving up attachment to the fruits of action is superior to meditation. After renunciation, tranquility is attained. He who has no hatred for all beings, is friendly, and also displays compassion, is without sense of ego, without pride, regards happiness and unhappiness in the same way, and is forgiving, is always satisfied, a yogi, and controlled in mind, firm in resolution, and with mind and intellect immersed in me. Such a devotee of mine is dear to me. He from whom other people are not disturbed, and he who is not disturbed by other people, and he who is free from delight, dissatisfaction, fear and concern, is dear to me. Without desire, pure, enterprising, neutral, without pain, and one who has renounced all fruit, such a devotee is dear to me. He who is not delighted, nor hates, he who does not sorrow, nor desires, he who has given up good and evil, such a devotee is dear to me. Equal between friend and enemy, and respect and insult. Equal between cold and warmth, happiness and unhappiness, and without all attachments, like between criticism and praise, restrained in speech, satisfied with whatever is obtained, without habitation, and controlled in mind, such a devoted man is dear to me. Those who are devoted and look upon me as the supreme goal and worship according to this immortal dharma, such devotees are extremely dear to me. Shrimad Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 13. The Lord said, O Kaunteya, This body is known as the Kshetra. He who knows this is called the Kshetrajna by those who have the knowledge. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, in every field, know me to be the Kshetrajna. My view is that knowledge about Kshetra and Kshetrajna is knowledge. Briefly hear from me what is that Kshetra, its nature and its transformation, and cause and effect within it. Also that and its power. The rishis have sung this in different meters in several diverse ways. The definite logical arguments are also there in the Brahma Sutra passages. The great elements, the ego, the intellect, and the unmanifest, the 10 organs of sense, and the single one, and the objects of the 5 senses. Desire, hatred, happiness, unhappiness, combination, consciousness, patience, these together are said to be the Kshetra and its transformations. Lack of ego, lack of arrogance, lack of injury, forgiveness, humility, servitude towards teachers, purity, single-mindedness, and control over the self, detachment towards gratification of the senses, and lack of vanity, indifference towards unhappy travails like birth, death, aging, and disease, non-attachment, no sense of belonging in wife, son, and home, always equality in mind, whether good or evil results, faithfulness and devotion to me, fixedness and non-deviation in yoga, habitation in secluded spots, aversion to crowds, devotion to knowledge about the Atma, and search for true knowledge. These are known as knowledge. Anything opposed is ignorance. I will state that which is to be known. Knowing that attains immortality. That Brahman without origin is my form. It is said, both eternal and transit, that has hands and feet everywhere, eyes, heads and mouths everywhere, and ears everywhere, is established in everything in this world, manifest in the qualities of all the senses, but without any sense, alone like the abode of everything, without qualities and the preserver of all qualities. That is outside all beings and yet inside them, moving and unmoving beyond knowledge because of subtleness, far and yet near. That is indivisible, but exists in every being in divided form. Know as the preserver, destroyer, and the creator of all beings. That is the light of all bright bodies, said to be beyond darkness. Knowledge, that which is to be known and attainable through knowledge, is established in the heart of everything. Briefly, Kshetra, and that which is knowledge and to be known have been stated. Knowing this, my devotee attains my nature. Know both Prakriti and Purusha to be without origin, and from transformations and the qualities to result from Prakriti. Prakriti is said to be the reason behind cause and effect. Purusha is said to be for happiness and unhappiness in enjoyment, because Purusha is established in Prakriti and enjoys Prakriti's qualities, and its good and evil birth is because of its association with these qualities. The Supreme Being in this body is known as one who witnesses, one who allows, one who sustains, one who enjoys, the Supreme Lord, and the Paramatma. He who knows the nature of Purusha and of Prakriti, whatever be the position he is in, will not be reborn. Some through meditation see the Atma in the Atma with the Atma. Others use Sankhya Yoga, and still others use Karma Yoga, and others, failing to know, hear from others and worship. Even they who are devoted to hearing transcend death. O best of the Bharata lineage, whatever movable and immovable objects are created, know them to result from the link between Kshetra and Kshetraj. He truly sees who beholds the indestructible Supreme Lord equally in all beings, while everything else is destructible. He who sees the great Lord equally established in everything, he doesn't kill the Atma with the Atma, and therefore attains supreme liberation. He who perceives all action as being performed by Prakriti and the Atma as a non-agent, he truly beholds. When he sees the different aspects of beings as established in one, and also everything manifested from there, he attains the Brahman. O Kantya, because it is without origin and without qualities, this Paramatma is unchanging, and although based in the body, does nothing. It is not attached, as the sky that is everywhere is not attached because of its subtlety. Like that, the Atma is not attached, though it is in every body. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, just as a single sun lights up the entire world, like that, a single Kshetri lights up all Kshetras. Those who, through their eyes of knowledge, know the difference between Kshetra and Kshetrajya in this way, and freedom from beings and Prakriti, they attain the supreme goal. Shrimad Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 14. The Lord said, I am again starting the excellent and supreme out of all types of knowledge, knowing that all the sages are freed from this and attain supreme liberation, seeking refuge in this knowledge and attaining my true nature. They are not born at the time of creation, nor suffer at the time of destruction. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, the great Brahman is my womb. Into that I place the seed, and from that all the beings are created. O Kantya, the different forms that are created in all wombs, the great Brahman is like their mother, and I am the father who provides the seed. O mighty armed one, the qualities Sattva, Raja and Tama generated from nature bind the indestructible Atma in the body. O sinless one, among these, Sattva is shining because it is pure and without sin, but ties down the Atma because of attachment to happiness and knowledge. O Kantya, know Raja to be based on desire and the origin of thirst and attachment, that binds the Atma firmly because of attachment to action. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, know Tama to be born from ignorance and the source of delusion in every being, that binds firmly through error, sloth and sleep. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, Sattva attaches to happiness and Raja attaches to action. Tama veils knowledge and attaches to errors. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, Sattva overcomes Raja and Tama and becomes strong. Raja, Sattva and Tama, Sattva and Raja. Know that when the light of knowledge is ignited in all the gates of this body, it is only then that Sattva becomes strong. O best of the Bharata lineage, greed, inclination, beginnings of action, restlessness and desire, these are created when Rajat becomes strong. O descendant of the Kuru lineage, darkness, lack of enterprise, inadvertence and delusion, these are created when Tama becomes strong. For being dies when Sattva becomes strong, then he attains the shining world reserved for those who have the supreme knowledge. Death, when Rajas becomes strong, leads to rebirth as someone addicted to action. And death, when Tama, leads to rebirth as subhuman species. It has been said that Sattva type action has the fruit of pure happiness. Raja type has the fruit of unhappiness, and Tama type has the fruit of ignorance. From Sattva, wisdom results, and from Raja, greed, and from Tama, only inadvertence, delusion, and ignorance result. Those with a preponderance of Sattva ascend above. Those with Raja stay in the middle. Those with despicable Tama qualities descend below. When the seer doesn't see any agent other than the qualities and knows that which is beyond the qualities, he attains my nature. When the being transcends the three qualities that are the origin of the body, he attains immortality, free from birth, death, old age, and unhappiness. Arjun said, O Lord, from what signs does one know who has transcended? What is his conduct, and how does he transcend these three qualities? The Lord said, O Pandav, he who is engaged in knowledge and inclination and delusion, and yet does not hate, nor desire if these are withdrawn, he is established in indifference and the qualities don't disturb him. Knowing the action of the qualities to be of this form, he is steady and doesn't waver, equal between happiness and unhappiness, established in himself, equal between earth, stone and gold, similar in treatment of the loved and the hated, tranquil, similar between praise and censure, he who treats respect and insult alike, friend and enemy alike, and discards all beginnings of action, he is said to have transcended the qualities. He who worships me single-mindedly and with unwavering devotion, he transcends these qualities and is worthy of attaining the state of the Brahman, because I am the embodiment of the Brahman, indestructible, immortal, and also of eternal dharma and absolute bliss. Shrimad Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 15. The Lord said, They say the Ashwatthva tree, the holy fig tree, with the root above and branches below, is indestructible. He who knows that its leaves are the meters knows the truth, specially nurtured by the gunas, with objects as its shoots its branches extend upwards and downwards. In the world of men, its rootlings stretch downwards, the cause of action. In this form is nor felt, nor the end, nor the beginning, nor even its establishment, slicing the thick root of the Ashwatthva with the weapon of firm detachment. Thereafter, one must seek that goal, the attainment of which means no return, stating, I seek refuge in that original being. Without pride and delusion, having conquered the fault of attachment, constant in the knowledge of the Atma, having restrained desire, freed from the opposites of happiness and unhappiness, the wise go to that indestructible goal. Attaining that, there is no return. The sun cannot light that, nor the moon, nor fire. That is my supreme abode. Indeed, part of my eternal form is established as beings in nature and attracts the mind and six senses to the world of beings. Like the wind carries away fragrance from receptacles, the Lord, when it discards one body and attains another one, takes these with it and leaves. This is established in the ears, the eyes, touch, the tongue, the nose, and also the mind, and enjoys objects. The deluded do not see the establishment and also the enjoyment and progress with the qualities as attributes. Those with eyes of wisdom see this. Careful yogis established in the Atma see this. Despite care, those who are not established in the Atma and are without consciousness do not see this. The energy in the sun that lights up the entire world, that in the moon, and that too in the fire. Know that energy to be mine. I enter the earth and hold up the beings with my energy. As the watery moon, I nourish all the herbs. I am established in the bodies of beings as the fire of digestion. I mingle with the prana and apana breath and digest the 4 types of food. I am established in the hearts of all beings. I result in memory and knowledge and their lack. Indeed, it is I who am the knowledge of the Vedas and the origin of Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas. The destructible and the indestructible, these 2 Purushas exist in the world. All these beings are destructible. The fixed is known as the indestructible. That apart, there is a Supreme Purusha known as the Paramatma, who enters the 3 worlds and sustains them, the indestructible Lord, because I am beyond destruction and superior even to the indestructible. Therefore, I am known as the Supreme Being in this world and in the Vedas. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, without delusion, he who knows me as the Supreme Being, he is omniscient and worships me in every way. O pure one, O descendant of the Bharata lineage, thus this extremely secret knowledge has been related by me. This understanding leads to knowledge and accomplishment. Shrimad Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 16. The Lord said, O descendant of the Bharata lineage, absence of fear, pureness of heart, steadiness in Jnana Yoga, donation and control, yajnas, self-study, practice of austerities and simplicity, absence of injury to others, truthfulness, lack of anger, renunciation, tranquility, lack of criticism of others, compassion towards beings, lack of avarice, gentleness, sense of shame, steadfastness, energy, forgiveness, perseverance, cleanliness, absence of hatred, absence of ego. These belong to the person born towards divine wealth. O Parth, arrogance, insolence, egoism, anger, cruelty, and ignorance. These belong to birth towards demonic wealth. Divine wealth is for liberation. Demonic wealth is for bondage. O Pandav, do not sorrow. You have been born towards divine wealth. O Parth, in this world, two types of beings are created: divine and demonic. The divine has been stated in detail. Hear from me about the demonic. Demonic people do not know about inclination and disinclination. In them there is no purity, nor righteousness, nor even truthfulness. They say the world is full of falsehood, without basis, without a Lord, created without continuity, and with no reason other than to satisfy desire. Resorting to such views, with distorted minds, little intelligence, and cruel action, they perform evil deeds. They are born to destroy the world, seeking refuge in insatiable desires, deluded with a sense of insolence, pride, and arrogance, accepting surge of the untrue and performing impure rites they act, resorting to immeasurable thoughts till the time of destruction, convinced certainly that the enjoyment of desire is supreme, tied down with the noose of 100 hopes, prone to lust and anger, and accepting evil means for the sake of desire gratification. They wish to accumulate wealth. Today I have gained this. I will get that desired object later. I have this, and again that wealth will also be mine. This enemy has been killed by me. I will also kill the others. I am the Lord. I am the enjoyer. I am the successful, strong and happy. I am wealthy and of noble descent. Who is there equal to me? I will perform yajnas. I will donate. I will pleasure myself. Deluded by ignorance in this way, minds distracted by many thoughts, caught in the net of delusion, addicted to gratification of desires, they are hurled into impure hell, self-glorifying, haughty, proud because of wealth. They insolently perform unsanctioned rites that are yajnas only in name, resorting to vanity, strength, insolence, desire and anger. They hate me in their own bodies and in the bodies of others, and are disfavored. In this world I hurl those hateful, cruel, evil, and worst among men into demonic births several times. O Kaunteya, from birth to birth, the deluded don't attain me, and obtaining demonic births go down even further. Desire, anger, and avarice. These are the three types of doors to hell and destroyers of the Atma. Give up these three. O Kaunteya, the man who is freed from these three dark doors and follows that which is good for the Atma, thereafter attains the supreme goal. He who deviates from the prescription of the Shastras and acts as he desires like doing, that person doesn't attain liberation or happiness or the supreme goal. Therefore, in deciding what should be done and what should not be done, the Shastras are your test. In this, get ready to perform action, knowing what the Shastras prescribe. Shrimad Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 17. Arjun said, "Those who discard the prescriptions of the Shastras but worship with recourse to faith, what is their devotion like? Is it Sattva, Raja or Tama?" The Lord said, "According to their nature, people show three kinds of faith: Sattva type, Raja type, and Tama type. Listen to this, O descendant of the Bharata lineage. Everyone's faith follows his inner nature. This being is full of faith. The kind of faith one has makes the person. Those of the Sattva type worship the gods. Those of Raja type, Yakshas and Rakshas. The others of the Tama type worship ghosts and devils. Those who perform terrible austerities not sanctioned by the Shastras, full of insolence and ego, deriving strength from desire and attachment, devoid of consciousness, torture the elements in the body and also me inside the body. Know them to be driven by demonic resolution. The favored food of all is of three types, and so too sacrifice, meditation, and donations. Listen to the distinction between these. The Sattva type favor food that increases life expectancy, vitality, strength, freedom from disease, happiness, and joy, tasty, oily, nourishing, and pleasant. The Raja type favor food that is extremely spicy, acidic, salty, hot, pungent, dry and burning, increasing unhappiness, sorrow and disease. The Tama type favor food cooked a long time ago, no longer succulent, and with a bad smell, stale, and tasted by others, impure. The sacrifices performed according to prescribed rites, pacifying the mind, without attachment to fruits, and only because such sacrifices ought to be performed, are of the Sattva type, O best of the Bharata lineage. But no, sacrifices performed in search of fruits, or indeed because of insolence, to be of the Raja type. Sacrifices without following prescribed rites, without donating food, without mantras, without donations, and without faith are said to be of the Tama type. Worship of gods, brahmanas, teachers and the wise, purity, simplicity, brahmacharya and non-violence, these are known as physical austerities. Not uttering words that leads to anxiety, speaking the truth, and that which is pleasant and leads to welfare, and self-study, these are known as verbal austerities. Tranquility of mind, lack of cruelty, reserve in speech, control of one's self, purity in attitude. All these are known as mental austerities. These three types of austerities performed single-mindedly by men, without attachment to fruits, and with supreme faith, are said to be of the Sattva type. Austerities performed with the objective of obtaining praise, respect, or worship, and based on insolence are said to be of the Raja type, and in this are temporary and uncertain. Austerities performed on the basis of delusion, resulting in the oppression of oneself or undertaken to destroy others, are said to be of the Tama type. Alms donated for the sake of donation to those who have not benefited the donor and based on place, time and subject are said to be of the sattva type. But donations for the sake of return favors or for the fruits or given unwillingly are said to be of the raja type. Donations in the wrong place, at the wrong time and to the wrong subject, given without respect and disdainfully, are said to be of the tama type. Om Tat Sat. In these three ways, the Brahman has been described in the sacred texts. From this, in the past, Brahmanas and the Vedas and Yajnas have been created. Therefore, according to prescribed rites, sacrifices, donations and austerities by those who are learned in the Brahman are always undertaken after uttering Om. Those who desire liberation give up desire for fruits and undertake sacrifices, donations and austerities after uttering Tat. O Parth, Sat is used to signify existence and superiority, and the word Sat is also used for auspicious acts. Steadfastness in sacrifices, donations and austerities is known as Sat, and action performed towards those ends is also indeed known as Sat. O Parth, sacrifices, donations and austerities and any other action undertaken without faith are known as the opposite of Sat, with nothing in this world or in the afterworld. Shrimad Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 18. Arjun said, O mighty armed one, O Rishikesh, O slayer of Keshi, I wish to separately understand the essence of renunciation and relinquishing. The Lord said, the wise know the relinquishing of action that satisfies desires as sannyas. The discriminating call the relinquishing of the fruits of all action, tyaga. Some learned people say that all action is associated with evil and should be relinquished. Some others say that action like sacrifices, donations, and austerities should not be relinquished. O Supreme among the Bharata lineage, listen to my decided views about that relinquishing. O Tiger among men, it has been said that relinquishing is of three types: sacrifices, donations, and austerities are not to be relinquished. Those actions certainly have to be performed, because sacrifices, donations, and austerities purify the hearts of the learned. O Parth, but even these actions should be performed through relinquishing attachment and fruits. That is my decided and supreme view. It is not advisable to renounce indicated action. Discarding this through delusion is known as Tama type. He who relinquishes action because action leads to discomfort and requires physical exertion performs Raja type relinquishing. He doesn't receive the fruits from relinquishing. O Arjun, Sattva type relinquishing is known as that where attachment and fruits are relinquished, an action is performed only because it is indicated action. Immersed in the Sattva quality, steady in learning and without doubt, the relinquisher doesn't hate disagreeable action and become addicted to agreeable action. He who possesses a body cannot give up action in its entirety, because he relinquishes fruits of action. He is known as a true relinquisher. Those who don't relinquish face three types of fruits of their action in the afterworld: bad, good, and mixed. But sannyasis don't. O mighty armed one, in the sacred texts, 5 reasons are described in support of performing all action. Hear these from me. The abode and also the agent, different types of instruments and different and various types of endeavor, and the 5th is the divine. Whatever action, appropriate or inappropriate, a man begins through the body, the mind and speech, is caused by these 5. Although this is the state of affairs, he who thinks of the Absolute Atma as the agent, his intelligence is unrefined, and that ignorant person doesn't see. He who has no sense of ego and whose intelligence is unattached, even if he slays all these people, doesn't really kill and is not tied down. Knowledge, that which can be known, and the knower are the 3 impetuses behind action. The action, the instrument, and the agent form the base for action. According to qualities, 3 types of differences in knowledge and action and the agent are described in Sankhya. Listen properly to that too. That which is in all beings, in differentiated form, sees the undifferentiated and indestructible substance. Know that to be sattva-type knowledge. But the knowledge through which one sees in all beings, in differentiated form, differentiated and separate substances, know that to be raja-type knowledge. But that which is attached to a single action is illogical, trivial, and without true knowledge. That is known as tama-type. Action where fruits have been relinquished without attachment, without love or hate, performed only because it is indicated, is known as sattva-type. Again, action undertaken with great difficulty by those with desire for fruits or with a sense of ego is known as raja-type. Action begun under delusion, without consideration of consequences, destruction, injury, and one's own capabilities, is known as tama-type. An agent who is without attachment, without sense of ego, patient and enthusiastic, equal in attitude towards success and failure, is known as sattva-type. An agent who is attached, desirous of fruits of action, avaricious, injurious, impure, and swayed by joy and sorrow, is known as raja-type. An agent who is not steady, vulgar, insolent, fraudulent, disrespectful, lazy, despondent, and procrastinating is known as tama-type. O Dhananjay, according to quality of intellect and perseverance, there are 3 types of differences. Listen to what is being said, separately and comprehensively. O Parth, the intellect that knows inclination and disinclination, right action and wrong, fear and freedom from fear, bondage and liberation, is sattva-type. O Parth, the intellect through which one does not correctly understand dharma and adharma and right action and wrong, is raja-type. O Parth, the intellect through which one thinks evil action is righteous and in every way thinks the opposite, shrouded in ignorance, that is Tama type. O Parth, the perseverance through which one uses unwavering yoga to focus the functions of the mind, the breath of life and the senses, that perseverance is Sattva type. O Parth, O Arjun, the perseverance through which dharma, artha and kama are sought and according to the area fruits desired is known as Raja type. O Parth, the perseverance through which the misguided person doesn't discard dreaming. Fear, sorrow, despondency and ego is known as Tama type. O bull among the Bharata lineage, now hear from me about the three types of happiness, where happiness comes from gradual practice and there is an end to unhappiness, that which is initially like poison but at the end like ambrosia, based on the tranquility of one's intellect focused on the Atma. That is known as Sattva type. That which comes from association with objects and the senses and is initially like ambrosia but at the end like poison, that happiness is said to be Raja type. The happiness that at the beginning and at the end binds and deludes the Atma, and that which is created from sleep, sloth and inadvertence is known as Tama type. On earth, in heaven, and even among the gods, there doesn't exist anything that is free from these three qualities generated from nature. O scorcher of foes, the actions of Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and also Shudras are separately segregated in accordance with qualities that result from their natures. Control over the mind, control over the senses, meditation, purity, forgiveness, simplicity, knowledge, self-realization, and indeed faith are natural actions for Brahmins. Valor, bravery, perseverance, dexterity, willingness to fight, generosity, and capacity to rule are natural actions for Kshatriyas. Agriculture, preservation of cattle and trade are natural actions for Vaishyas. Servitude is natural action for Shudras. A man who faithfully follows his indicated course of action attains liberation. Listen to how liberation is obtained by following one's indicated course of action. Through his own action, man obtains liberation by worshipping him who is the origin of beings and their endeavor, and him who pervades all this. Even when performed imperfectly, Swadharma is superior to someone else's dharma, performed well. Sin does not result if one's natural action is undertaken. O Kaunteya, natural action should not be discarded, even if it is tainted. Because all action is tainted, just as fire is shrouded by smoke. He who is detached everywhere has conquered his Atma, has overcome desire through sannyasa, attains the supreme liberation of freedom from action. O Kaunteya, learn briefly from me how one who has attained liberation attains the Brahman. That is the supreme form of knowledge, united with pure intellect, controlling the Atma with perseverance, discarding objects like sound and renouncing love and aversion, inhabiting a secluded place, eating little, restraining speech, body, and the mind, constantly practicing meditation, seeking refuge in renouncement, discarding ego, power, insolence, desire, anger, and possessions. Tranquil and without ego, he is fit for merging with the Brahman. Tranquil in merging with the Brahman, such a person does not sorrow and does not desire. Looking upon every being equally, he attains supreme devotion towards me. Through devotion, he comprehends my true nature, who I am and my different forms. Then, after knowing my true nature, enters. Seeking refuge in me, he always performs all action, and through my blessings attains the eternal and indestructible abode. Through the mind, offering up all action to me, devoted to me and seeking refuge in Buddhi Yoga, always immerse your mind in me. With mind immersed in me, with my blessings, you will overcome all difficulties. But if, through a sense of ego, you don't listen to me, you will be destroyed. Through a sense of ego, you are thinking that you will not fight. But this resolution is false. Nature will compel you. O Kaunteya, whatever you don't wish to do because of delusion, you will have to undertake in spite of that, because you are tied down by your natural duty. O Arjun, the Lord is established in the hearts of all beings, and through Maya makes all beings whirl, as if they are mounted on machines. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, in every way seek refuge in Him alone. Through His blessings, you will attain supreme tranquility and the eternal abode. I have explained to you this knowledge, which is the most secret of all secrets. Having examined it completely, do what you wish to do. Listen yet again to my supreme words, the most secret of all secrets. You are my dearly beloved. Therefore, I am telling you what is good for you. Immerse your mind only in me. Be devoted to me, worship me, bow in obeisance before me. I am pledging that you will attain me, because you are my beloved. Discard all dharmas and seek refuge only in me. I will free you from all sins. Do not sorrow. You should not state this to those who do not meditate, or are devoid of devotion, or do not wish to hear, nor to those who show me disrespect. There is no doubt that he who explains this most secret knowledge to my devotees displays supreme devotion towards me and will attain me alone. Among men, there is no one who does greater service to me. In the world, there is no one, and there will be no one more dear to me. And he who will study this dialogue of ours on Dharma, my view is that he will worship me through Jnana Yoga. The man who only listens with faith and without disrespect, he too will be freed from sin and attain the worlds attained by those who are pure of deeds. O Parth, have you listened to this with single-minded concentration? O Dhananjay, has your delusion of ignorance been destroyed? Arjun said, O Achyut, through your blessings, my delusion has been destroyed. I have obtained knowledge about what should be done and what shouldn't be done. I am steady. I no longer suffer from doubt. I will do what you instruct. Sanjay said, I have thus heard this wonderful and thrilling dialogue between the great souls Vasudev and Parth. through the blessings of Vyas, I have heard the supreme and secret yoga directly from Krishna, the Lord of all yoga, when he stated it. O King, remembering again and again this sacred and wonderful dialogue between Keshav and Arjun, I have repeatedly been exhilarated. O King, remembering that extremely wonderful universal form of Hari, I am greatly amazed and repeatedly exhilarated. Wherever there is Krishna, the Lord of Yoga, and Arjun, the wielder of the bow, exist prosperity, victory, increase in wealth, and sound policy. That is my conviction.